Well, hello there, my dear. It's Grandma Suzie again, and I've got something important to talk to you about today. Relationships. They're the heart and soul of our lives, aren't they? We crave connection, love, and companionship, and when we find it, it feels like the greatest blessing in the world. But my darling, I've seen a lot in my time, and I've seen how easily we can make mistakes in our relationships. Mistakes that can hurt us, hurt the people we love, and sometimes even lead to unnecessary heartache. Now, don't get me wrong. No relationship is perfect. We all stumble from time to time, and we all have our ups and downs. But there are some mistakes, my dear, that can be avoided with a little wisdom, a little foresight, and a whole lot of self-awareness. So pull up a chair and let's have a heart-to-heart. I'm going to share with you some of the biggest mistakes I've seen people make in relationships. Mistakes that, if avoided, could help you build the kind of healthy, loving, and lasting relationship that you deserve. Mistake number 1. Ignoring yourself for the sake of the relationship. This is a big one, my love. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that love means losing yourself. Maybe you're trying to be the perfect partner, always putting the other person's needs first, always accommodating, always making sacrifices. And while there's nothing wrong with being thoughtful and kind in a relationship, there's a big difference between caring for someone and losing your own identity. Let me tell you something important, sweetheart. You can't give your best to someone else if you've forgotten who you are. You're a unique, wonderful person in your own right. You have your passions, your dreams, your needs, and those things matter. When you ignore yourself for the sake of the relationship, it's easy to lose touch with who you are and what makes you happy. You might start resenting your partner for not noticing that you've been silently suffering, or worse, you might end up bitter and unfulfilled. A healthy relationship should support both people growing together, while still maintaining their individuality. Love should add to your life, not take away from it. Make sure you keep nurturing your own interests, friendships, and sense of self, even as you nurture the relationship. When you love yourself fully, you'll be able to love your partner even better. Mistake number 2. Not communicating honestly. Oh, communication, my dear. It's the backbone of any successful relationship. And yet, so many people fail to communicate openly and honestly with each other. Now, I understand why it's hard sometimes. It's not always easy to say what's on your mind, especially when you're worried about how the other person will react. You might hold back to avoid conflict, or because you're afraid of being vulnerable. But sweetheart, if you don't communicate openly, the issues between you will fester and grow. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're upset about something your partner did, but instead of talking about it, you bottle it up. The next time something small happens, you get even more upset. And before you know it, you're angry about things that have nothing to do with the issue at hand. Communication problems are like a slow leak in a boat. It might seem small at first, but over time it will sink the whole thing if it's not addressed. So, my dear, I want you to remember this. Speak up when something is bothering you, but do it with love and respect. Express your feelings honestly, but also be kind and patient with your partner. Healthy communication isn't about winning a fight. It's about understanding each other and working together to find solutions. And don't forget to listen too. Sometimes the most important part of communication is not just speaking but really hearing what the other person is saying. Mistake number 3. Expecting perfection. Now, darling, I'm going to tell you something that might surprise you. No one, and I mean no one, is perfect. Not you, not me, not your partner. Every single person has flaws, and that's okay. Relationships aren't about finding someone who ticks off every single box of your ideal partner list. They're about finding someone who compliments you, supports you, and shares your values. And that's far more important than expecting perfection. When you expect perfection from your partner, you set them up for failure, and you set yourself up for disappointment. You'll constantly feel let down because no one will ever live up to your unrealistic standards. And here's the thing. When you're focused on flaws, you miss the beautiful qualities that make your partner who they are. You miss the love, the laughter, and the connection that truly matter. Instead of looking for perfection, look for the qualities that truly matter. Kindness, respect, loyalty, and a shared vision for the future. Love isn't about finding someone who's perfect in every way. It's about finding someone who makes you feel valued, accepted, and loved, flaws and all. And don't forget, you're not perfect either, my dear. And that's okay too. Mistake number 4. Failing to set boundaries. Boundaries are vital in any relationship, and yet, so many people fail to set them. Maybe you're afraid of upsetting your partner or making things awkward. Or maybe you think that love means never saying no. But let me tell you, sweetheart, boundaries aren't just important, they're necessary. When you don't set clear boundaries, you risk losing your sense of self. You might find yourself doing things you don't want to do, or accepting behaviors you don't deserve, all in the name of keeping the peace or being a good partner. But love isn't about being a doormat. It's about mutual respect. You have the right to say no when something doesn't feel right, and you have the right to ask for what you need in the relationship. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you're being selfish. It means you're taking care of yourself and ensuring that both partners feel respected. Healthy boundaries allow both people in a relationship to thrive, and they create space for each person to maintain their individual identity while also nurturing the relationship. So don't be afraid to set clear, loving boundaries. Your partner will respect you for it, and you'll respect yourself even more. Mistake number 5. Holding on to past hurts. This one is a tricky one. Holding on to past hurt, resentment, or grudges can poison a relationship. We've all been hurt in the past by exes, by family members, by friends, and that pain can linger long after the relationship ends. But my dear, you cannot heal if you keep holding on to that past pain. When you bring past baggage into your current relationship, you risk repeating old patterns. You may find yourself projecting your past hurts onto your partner, or you may build walls that prevent you from truly connecting. Your partner isn't responsible for your past, and you can't expect them to fix old wounds. So what should you do instead? Let go of the past. Forgive yourself, forgive others, and move forward. This doesn't mean forgetting what happened or excusing bad behavior. It simply means not allowing the past to control your present or future. When you release old pain, you make space for new love, joy, and connection to enter your life. Mistake number 6. Overlooking red flags. I know, my dear, you're in love, and love can make us feel like we're on top of the world. But sometimes, in the rush of excitement, we ignore the red flags, the warning signs that something isn't quite right in the relationship. Maybe your partner is disrespectful, dishonest, or emotionally unavailable, but you tell yourself that it's nothing serious, that things will get better. But deep down, you know something's off. Listen to that gut feeling. It's there for a reason. Ignoring red flags can lead to serious problems down the road. It's important to trust yourself and trust your instincts when something doesn't feel right. It's far better to take a step back and reassess the situation than to ignore the signs and end up hurt in the long run. Love should never feel unsafe or draining. It should bring peace, trust, and joy. Mistake number 7. Rushing things. Now, I know the excitement of new love can make you want to dive in head first. Everything feels so perfect and exciting, and you might think that rushing things will help you create the relationship of your dreams. But my dear, I want to remind you that the best relationships take time. When you rush things, you miss out on getting to know each other truly. You might skip over important conversations or fail to build a solid foundation of trust. Relationships aren't sprints, they're marathons. They need time to grow and develop naturally. So take it slow. Don't rush into anything. Let things unfold at their own pace and enjoy the process of truly getting to know each other. Conclusion: building a strong, lasting relationship. So, my sweet, those are some of the biggest mistakes I've seen people make in relationships. But here's the good news. They're all avoidable. If you can learn to communicate openly, set healthy boundaries, forgive, and build trust, you'll be well on your way to creating a relationship that's strong, loving, and lasting. Remember, love isn't about perfection. It's about acceptance, respect, and growth. Take care of yourself. Be honest with your partner, and never forget that you are worthy of love and happiness. When you make room for love in a healthy, balanced way, that's when you'll find the kind of relationship you've always dreamed of. I'm so proud of you for taking this step toward building a healthier, happier relationship. I believe in you, my dear. You've got this. Thank you, my dears, for spending this time with me. Remember, life's journey is better when we walk it together. If these stories and reflections warmed your heart, be sure to subscribe and join me for more wisdom, comfort, and a little sprinkle of joy. Together, let's keep growing one story at a time. Until next time, stay safe, stay hopeful, and remember, you're never alone. Grandma loves you.